Hello again. I'm here at the UN building. Today we came here to cover a story regarding the 25 years of genocide that happened in Rwanda. Here is more to gain lessons exactly what happened after those 25 years. So what other African country can be able to learn from what happened in Rwanda. So we had here a panel of discussion. We had the ambassador who was here to talk about exactly the situation it happened in Rwanda. So from those lessons that are right now evolving in the country, and what other African countries will be able to learn from them. So thank you very much, and pay attention to what you have to say.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, members of the Rwandan community, friends of Rwanda, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude to all of you that are with us here today. Thank you to our co-organizers, Mrs. Caroline Houston, for UN Women, and Ambassador Lisbeth Silma-Jones, and our Secretary for Global Politics and Security at the Danish Ministry of Foreign Affairs, for hosting the ceremony of the 25th commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. Thank you also for our panelists who will later be engaging us in this important discussion on the use of gender-based violence during the conflict. I also want to give my heartfelt thanks to Mrs. Beata Wazaninha for her courage to share with us her powerful testimony and to speak of such painful memories. And yes, we believe what he told us. It's hard to comprehend that her story is one of hundreds of thousands of such stories of survival. I am grateful for the countless of Rwandans who dared to forgive those who committed the most horrific crime of genocide against them. It is equally hard to comprehend that there are over 1 million lives whose stories were left unspoken in 1994. And in many cases, no one was left behind to tell their stories. The silence is unbearable. This week symbolizes the start of the fastest and most gruesome genocide in modern history. In 100 days, we lost over 1 million of our people. It was indeed on this exact day, on April 11th, in 1994, that the number of civilians seeking refuge at the Don Bosco School reached 2,000 people. They were being protected by the Belgian UNAMIR soldiers and believed that the Belgians would protect them from the militias rampaging outside. That afternoon, the UN soldiers were ordered to withdraw to the airport. Most of the civilians they abandoned were quickly killed. The scale of the violence was so immense. It was also intimate. Men, women, the young and old were butchered at close proximity with machetes, knives, clubs, or sharpened sticks. The genocide in Rwanda occurred within plain sight of international journalists, a small left UN peacekeeping force, and the international community that did nothing to try to stop the killings. But as our president said, His Excellency Paul Kagame, while addressing the commemoration gathering in Kigali 4 days ago, the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda had a history. It followed many decades of bad leadership characterized by divisive and dehumanizing politics that pitted one people against each other based on their ethnicity. And Beata told us of her experience about this particular aspect. These divisions were institutionalized and printed into people's identity cards. This ultimately made it possible the ethnic cleansing of Tutsi in Rwanda were organized and systematically carried out. Distinguished guests, the word Kwibuka is a word in Kinyarwanda and is one we chose in order to mark the commemoration time. It is a word that means to remember. In Rwanda, Kwibuka is part of our reconciliation and unity. Kwibuka, to remember, is the least we can do to give the victims back the dignity that was stolen from them so brutally. Remembering the victims of the genocide against the Tutsi would also be a warning. A severe warning because genocide ideology is still existent. And negationism and revisionism are a reality, and not only in Rwanda. The fight against genocide ideology, against negationism, is a collective one. It is not only the duty of Rwandans or Jews or other people. Every single person has the responsibility to fight it. One way to prevent it is to preserve the proofs of the genocide, to preserve the testimonies of the survivors. Yesterday in Stockholm, as part of the commemoration events, we launched a book in which 3 Rwandan ladies who survived the genocide against the Tutsi and who are now living in Sweden shared their testimonies. The book was also published in English. If you want to know more, please feel free to approach our colleagues or to approach myself. Following the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994, the United Nations has been a fundamental partner in the reconstruction of our country. Today, Rwanda is leveraging its tragic history of genocide and the failure of peacekeeping in the country to inform its approach to peacekeeping. Rwanda is among the top 5 UN troop and police contributing countries. Further, we believe in the need to increase the percentage of women peacekeepers for obvious reasons, like victims feel more comfortable to interact and share information about their plights, and female peacekeepers also act as role models in the often male-dominated local environments. My country knows too well what sexual violence is often used, that sexual violence is often used as a weapon of war, and the numbers were also already shared by Caroline, the number of women raped during the genocide in Rwanda. We also realized that we needed to put women at the forefront of our development and healing. Today, Rwanda is a leading example when it comes to supporting gender equality. Over 60% of parliamentary seats are held by women. By concluding, I would like to quote our president. I quote, "Rwanda is a very good friend to its friends. We seek peace return page. He said this during the commemoration event in Kigali on Sunday. Even though we were so desperately left alone by international community in 1994, looking around and noting the distinguished presence of everyone in this room, we are profoundly grateful to know that we have many good friends in Denmark. Please stay with us during this national commemoration period that concludes with our Liberation Day on July 4th. I would also like to invite you all to join us for a film screening about the genocide that we shall hold on May 2nd at the Karen Blix Museum. Thank you for your presence here, you all our friends, and we are very grateful. Thank you.